a big animal lover. This is the first time I've ever had a garden as an adult, and I was always quite a grubby child. I used to pick up worms and plant seeds and that sort of thing. And when we first moved in, we decided we're going to try and encourage as much wildlife into the garden as possible. We did a number of things. The first thing we did, we got a bird table. We put various things on the bird table. We put fat balls on it. Fat balls. Just really like saying it. Fat balls. Say it after 3. 1, 2, 3. Sounds a bit like an old nickname of an ex-boyfriend, doesn't it?
Well, I guess who I saw down Asda's on Tuesday, fucking fat balls.
We put fat balls on it. We also put nut bags on it, which was his other nickname. And that worked. You know, within a couple of days, we had all sorts of birds on there. Robins, which surprised me. I genuinely had no idea that robins were a year-round bird. I thought they rocked up late October, did a couple of photo shoots for the Christmas cards, and then just fucked off. Got the bird table, got a pond put in to try and encourage some insects and maybe some frogs and things like that. The first wildlife we found in the pond is not what we'd hoped for or expected. It was just a rabbit face down, floating dead. I was as upset as you are. I was absolutely distraught. And I said to my husband, did we cause this? He said, how could we cause this? I said, well, was the rabbit running along going, there's normally grass here, there's normally grass here, there's normally grass here. Ah, shit. And my husband, quick as a flash, just went, no, rabbits are really good swimmers. I said, that's not a fact. I've not heard that before. That's not a fact. I said, are you telling me this the same way my dad told me mum that mice can't climb stairs? Because they fucking can. But I was so upset. In order to cheer me up, we got the swing ball out. We had a couple of games of swing ball. If you're too young to know what swing ball is, it was a very early computer game. And it totally worked. It cheered me up. And I thought, if that's what I have to do when I see a dead rabbit, I hope I never see a dead body. I'll have to hire a bouncy castle. So we got the pond, we got the bird table. We started to buy carrots for the wild rabbits because we just felt bad that we'd killed one of their family. And the last thing we did, we got hedgehog food, because you have to buy specific hedgehog food these days. Back in the day, like in the 80s, you could just give them bread and milk, but now they're all like gluten intolerant or something. So we put all of these different kinds of foods out into the garden, and within 3 months, the garden was teeming with active life. It was absolutely glorious, but I still wasn't happy. Like, the grubby child in me was not satisfied. So I got all of those different kinds of foods, and I put them all at the front door to try and encourage animals to come closer to the house. And it worked, because now, whenever I'm at home and I sing, birds sit on my hands. And I don't have to do the dishes anymore, because the rabbits do those. They pass them across to the squirrels, who dry them with their big fluffy tails. And there's this one time that an old lady came to the front door, and she offered me an apple, and I told her to fuck off. I like to think there might be 2 or 3 people in this room tonight who've never seen Snow White, who are like, what the fuck is happening right now? But I've got a question for you guys, and only join in if you want to. There's no pressure. We'll just have some fun. I'm not here to be mean to anybody. We'll just have a laugh. What I'll do is I'll ask you the question, then I'll buy you a little bit of thinking time. That's probably a good idea. So the question is this. I would like you guys to tell me what's the best thing you've ever seen in nature. Now, to buy a bit of thinking time, I'll tell you the 3 things that freak me out about living in the countryside. So the first thing that freaks me out about living in the countryside, you know pheasants? You know pheasants? Yeah? I don't know if you know, but there's 2 makes of them. There's the one that we all know, then there's another one that is upright and running around and alive. Second thing that freaks me out about living in the countryside, I can't always tell if it's an owl hooting or my husband's asthma. I woke him up one night because I thought I could hear an owl, and as soon as I woke him up, it stopped. Either that or a very distant ambulance. And the third thing that freaks me out about living in the countryside is that I sometimes forget that the television is reflected in the conservatory, and I think Eamon Holmes is in the garden. I mean, he's a lovely man, but he was not fucking invited. Now, probably the easiest way to chat to you guys is to kind of break you up into upstairs and downstairs, as you already are. So let's do upstairs. Anybody in the upstairs section, give us a woo if you've seen something good in nature. Oh, quite a few. Okay. Oh, one over here. There's a group of you over here. Any of you guys who wooed over here, shout out what you saw. You saw a A minke whale. And is that a thing? Yes. Okay, thanks, lady. They're very confidently went, yes, you fucking idiot. Yes. I know some ladies call that their minke. So I genuinely didn't know if that was a heckle or not. You minke whale. I thought it was just kosh for fat cunt. I really did. I really did. Thanks for watching. You know what would be great is if you liked and subscribed. I'm so needy, I'm so sorry. And why not come and see me live? The tickets are available at sarahmillican.co.uk. Put the kettle on and settle in.